To celebrate December, I thought it might be quite fun to go back and look at some of the games that I used to have on my original childhood PC. I'm going to break the list down into two separate categories, my 5 least favourite, and then we'll have a look at my 5 most favourite DOS games. Right after this message from PCBWay. Our good friends over at PCBWay have kindly sponsored this video. PCBWay offers a variety of services from PCB production and assembly to 3D printing in various materials, injection moulded plastics and even sheet metal fabrication. They offer a very professional and high quality service for extremely reasonable prices. Check out a link for their website in the description below. So let's look at my 5 least favourite games for DOS. At number 5 we have The Seventh Guest. Now this was recommended to me by another friend from school. And the basic premise is you walk around a mansion solving puzzles. It was the first game to be exclusively released on CD-ROM due to its extensive use of FMV video. The music soundtrack's a bit morbid, and the CD can also be played in a standard CD player, but not that you'd want to.
Oh, I'm dying to see what you'll do next. Finding things a little grating.
Nothing ever seems to slide into place in this place.
At number 4 is Aladdin. The copy of Aladdin that I bought was relatively cheap at the time. However, when I got it home I could never get the audio to work, and the game's quite boring when you're playing it in silence. At number 3 we have Rayman. Again, this was another really colourful game and the music soundtrack was excellent, but I had problems with the controls and I could never punch my enemies, so I could never get very far. At number 2 is Merlin Challenge. Now most of you have probably never even heard of this game, but it was one that my dad bought for me, and basically you fly a Merlin helicopter for the British Royal Navy, and the idea is you land it on the back of an aircraft carrier. There are 3 levels of hardness: easy, medium and hard, where easy the aircraft carrier isn't moving, medium it's moving at a slow rate, and hard it's moving quite quickly, but there's also a crosswind. Once you've mastered the controls and landed the helicopter, that's it, there's no progression in the game, so that's why it's number 2 on my list. At number 1, this is going to be quite controversial, but it's Doom. Now I admit I am an absolute wuss, but Doom freaked me out as a kid. The music was okay, but the sound effects were creepy, and I didn't much like the monsters, so I only used to play it with the volume turned down and the lights turned up. As an adult now it doesn't scare me, but back in the day it wasn't my first game of choice. So at number 5 we have Screamer. It's a racing game, and this was recommended to me by a friend when I was at school. I must admit I haven't got very far in it because I don't have very much patience. But basically, you drive around a racetrack trying to get into first place. At number 4 is another racing game called Big Red Racing. Now this was recommended to me by my friend Laura, and I spent many happy hours playing it. Again, I didn't get particularly far because I don't have that much patience and I kept crashing, and there are a number of memorable catchphrases. Number 3 we have The Lion King. Now I was incredibly jealous of a couple of my fellow boarders at the boarding school who had TVs and Mega Drives in their dorms, and they had The Lion King and they could play it whenever they wanted. One day in the NAFI, which is a British military store, I saw it for sale for the PC and had just about enough pocket money that I could buy it for myself. It's a fantastic platform game and it's got lots and lots of bright colours and music from the original game. And I spent many happy hours playing it. However, there are no save points in the game, so if you progress quite far and then lose all of your lives, you have to start over again from the beginning, and that can be quite frustrating. Now number 2 and number 1 on this list, both tied for first place, but based solely on the number of hours played, number 2 is SimCity 2000. I love the design of it, I love the isometric look, I even like the stupid music and the sound effects. But in place number 1 for me is Transport Tycoon. I spent hours and hours even playing this game into the wee hours of the night. It's basically like having your own train set as well as a freight company. Not only can you transport goods by road, but you can also do it by sea and air. It was a fantastic game, and I still on occasion play the Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe game on more modern systems. Now I have thought of one extra game that I don't believe fits in either category of good or bad. Now I love all things space related, and in Space Simulator you can launch a rocket, you can land a space shuttle, and you can also land the LEM on the moon. However, I wasn't very good at this and I kept crashing and blowing the spaceships up. Well, that's a list of my games for DOS. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.